All right, good afternoon. My name is Sean McGuire. I'm the Executive Director of the Albany County Land Bank. It is 4:01 p.m. on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. We're calling to order a meeting of the Land Bank's Governance Committee. We're holding this meeting remotely per New York State Open Meetings Law. This meeting is available on the Land Bank's YouTube channel for listening and viewing. Today, participating on the committee, we have Dave Rowley and Charles Toohey. Absent from the meeting is Juanita Neighbors. We have from the Land Bank staff joining us. Susan Baker is on remotely. Lynette, Jason, and Shelby with me. Lillian has stepped out for the day. The agenda was circulated ahead of time, contains a number of items. The first are the minutes from the June meeting. If everybody's had a chance to review those, if you have any comments, questions, corrections, or suggestions, I would take those. Otherwise, I need a motion to approve these minutes to our records.
I'll make the motion.
Dave?
Second.
Charlie on the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposition or abstentions? I hear everybody said aye, so I think we're good. Okay. We're going to move on to new business. So we've had the vacancy of Joe LaCivita for a number of months, working with the county legislature, who's the appointing authority for the land bank. They did send us a name of somebody that's being considered. Michelle Lynn Dorsey, her resume is provided for you. She's a real estate agent, owns a ranch in Bethlehem and Clemens, is involved with land use, and has an agriculture business, is interested in contributing to the land bank as a board member. She's worked for Howard Hanna Real Estate for the past couple of years. She owns 1841 Circle M Ranch in Selkirk, previously owned a trucking business, has been a founder of the 1841 Cavalry nonprofit, which offers therapeutic riding and equine-assisted programming for veterans and individuals experiencing trauma. Other work in healthcare, has degrees from Columbia Green Community College, has her New York State real estate license, is also a yoga teacher, so it might be somebody who's here can help us with our retreat on yoga. So a number of key skills listed there, and then her community and civic involvement. And then on the back of the resume, she put in a personal statement about her strong belief in balancing revitalization with preservation. Happy to, reach out to her, ask any questions, but if not, per our bylaws, we would, if the governance committee were to suggest, or we just take that recommendation to the board. The governance committee is charged with advising the appointing authorities on the skills and experiences required of potential board members, and then the vacancies on the board are filled by a vote of the county legislature upon the recommendation of directors then in office. So I think it would be your role to offer your feedback to the board to consider her as a potential director, and then we would communicate the outcome of the board meeting to the county legislature. If she were to get a favorable recommendation and the county legislature were to take that forward, I think she would be considered at the December 22nd meeting of the county legislature.
All right. I think she sounds qualified. Just touching, Sean, on something that you said at the last meeting, it's just, it's got to be emphasized that attendance at these board meetings is paramount importance, so we don't have to cancel the board meetings. I know people have vacations, and I missed some time when I was ill in July. But other than those type of circumstances, it's very important that anybody who participates on this board try to make it a priority to attend the monthly board meetings. I don't think that's too big of an ask. So with that caveat, and assuming that she knows what she's getting into, I would recommend her.
All right, thank you. Charlie?
I second.
All right. So I will put together a resolution for the board to consider to recommend her to the county legislature for Wednesday. All right. Moving ahead, we have to start preparing for the annual confidential board evaluation. I provided in the packet the 2024 survey and questions that were asked of the board last year. For the most part, people agreed in some areas, and I think we did discuss where there was some disagreement there. So I'll be certainly interested to see how the board, how opinions have changed this year. I think, you know, reflecting to David's comment about attendance, I'd like to suggest that we add a couple of questions in here about, you know, when we meet to make sure that's still working for folks, you know, if the day of the week works, the time of day works. And then I think to help with the self-reflection piece, we're not asking, and again, this is a confidential evaluation, so we're not asking anybody to disclose, you know, where they're also putting in service. But I might suggest that to help facilitate that self-reflection, that we ask board members to just say, you know, in a number capacity, how many other boards they might serve as well. Somebody might reflect back and say, wow, I can't believe I'm on 4 boards, and, you know, and then decide what the, you know, where their priorities are. And, you know, if it's causing them to miss meetings here at the WAMAC, that may give them the reflection to say that it might not be, they might still be driven to the mission. There might be other ways to support us, but it might not be as a board member. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any other thoughts that you'd like to get from board members in the evaluation process. The survey is pretty standard. Most public authorities use a very similar format to that survey. I think when we send this out, we'll remind people where they were last time, so they were, again, help with that self-reflection. But we can't give them that. We can tell them where everybody was as an aggregate. I can't go in and just send Dave and Charlie, can't send you your responses back to reflect on, but I think letting people know what the temperature was last year will probably be helpful. If that's okay with you, I'll go ahead with that.
Yeah, that sounds fine with me.
Okay.
And
The other
feedback, Sean, you just mentioned something. Charlie, have you got any feedback from anybody that the Tuesdays at 5:30 on the 3rd Tuesday of the month is a bad time?
Nobody's told me that. No,
Yeah.
nobody's let me know that.
Okay.
I'm fine with what it is.
I am
you
too.
know, so,
That kind of works for me.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, we certainly can ask. I mean, we don't have to ask that question. That's why if you'd like us to ask that, we'll format it that way. But if you don't think it's necessary,
I
we
don't
can
think
omit
it's
that.
necessary. I don't want to start to try to go down where we're trying to balance everybody's schedule. Until somebody complains, I wouldn't ask it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's
Right.
fair. It might be the
I want to
condition.
do a little speech about board attendance, how important that is. David's absolutely right.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that'll be helpful. Yeah, I think
And I will, as your chair, I'll do that too, and Sean and I will, we'll chime in together.
Well, yeah, it's not
Um,
just showing up. It's if you lose continuity with what's going on, if you're not there, you start to get out of the flow of the various projects and whatnot. So I think it's not only important for the board to conduct its business, but for the board members to have a better understanding of what's going on.
That's right.
Well, and I'll tease this out a little bit. Shelby and I are going to take a look at some better ways to communicate with the board. You know, there are some, you might use them if you're in other boards or other organizations, some applications that just say, as a focal point for communications with the board. We've heard before that with the emails coming out and I think that central point to gather that information might be helpful. We might be able to do it with what we have in-house with our SharePoint, but there might be another way, another system to do that. A lot of them, I will say, are built around remote meetings and, you know, casting votes remotely. We don't need all that, but we just need I think, a central point to communicate, so that way you don't have to chase down the emails that come out or find the email with the meeting link to Zoom here. So we are taking a look at that, and we'll bring those recommendations back to you. I think that really does fall to governance in terms of modern and current board practices. So,
Yep.
other than that, that's all I've got for governance today, unless you have something else you'd like me to dive into.
Not on my end.
Not on my end. We're out of here.
All right, no further business. We'll stand adjourned at 4:11 p.m.